Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. I am a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's question is, why are the people in your life grateful to have you? So basically, I just wanted to kind of have this be a little bit of a kind of self-esteem boost. Why are the people in your life loving to have you with them? Why do they love to be around you? Why are they grateful that you exist? So this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with everyone. So just know you can take what resonates for your situation and then disregard the rest. So we have 3 piles here today. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And just use your intuition to kind of guide you to a pile, figure out which one is kind of calling to you, which one you can't take your eyes off of. I do want to request that if you enjoy this video, please like it and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, as it does help out the channel and it will allow you to see when I've posted new videos in the future. So pile 1 is this green heart. Pile 2 is this blue heart. And pile 3 is this purple heart. So I will have timestamps in the description and in the comments below. Just take a deep breath, let your intuition guide you to one of the piles, and we're going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi pile 1, so if you chose the green heart, then this is your message. So let's figure out why the people in your life are grateful to have you in their lives. So for your tarot, you have the 9 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, and Strength. So I feel like you're kind of the go-to person to help kind of build people up when they're feeling anxious or overthinking things or worried about something. I feel like you help them to kind of find their inner strength and find their self-worth again, and that's a really awesome gift to have. I feel like you might be kind of not really the mom friend, but the person who just helps build people up. You're the empowering one who kind of helps to build self-esteem and make them feel better about themselves. So for your oracle cards, you have Snake Spirit, Time to Heal, number 55. Ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. So yeah, that's totally what I was talking about, and that's number 14. You have Confidence. It comes with time and practice, number 23. For your Affirmators, you have Teamwork, and you also have self-worth. So yeah, that's totally what we were talking about. You have She Who Remains, Manatili. I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering that name. And it says powerful, devotion, and true worth. So that's a lot of self-worth. And then finally, we have Horse. So for that one, I'm actually going to read from the book. But before we get to that, I just kind of want to go over my initial thoughts. So yeah, I feel like you might be a healer with the Snake Spirit, Time to Heal. I feel like you might even be an empath, that you have that ability to kind of help people heal their self-worth. You help them get through hard times. You help them kind of put in the work. And I feel like one thing you might actually want to kind of be aware of is make sure that you're not draining yourself to help other people. But yeah, when I'm seeing ask for help, people come to you for help all the time. You might even have total strangers kind of know that and like come up to you and ask for help, ask for your advice, ask for support. I just feel like you're very, very supportive of other people. And then with this confidence, it comes with time and practice. I think, yeah, you definitely have the ability to make people see their bright spots. You help them kind of see that things will get better in the morning. You help them kind of start building their confidence, and with teamwork and self-worth kind of coming up together, I'm seeing you helping people to build their confidence. So let's read what these say. For teamwork, it says, I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's a game, and when we're on the same side, nobody can lose. And then it says, not even the Cubs, finally. And then for self-worth, it says, I cast off all concerns about what people think of me. I know I'm a totally kick-ass person, and my kick-assness can never be diminished by rejection. So people can think what they think and feel what they feel. In the meantime, I'll just keep on knowing what I know without thinking about what they are thinking about what I already know, I think. So yeah, I definitely think that you have that ability to help kind of build up people's self-esteem. You help them kind of forget about what other people think about them. I think a lot of people who are insecure or dealing with hard times or kind of just, you know, just have the racing thoughts going around all the time come to you for help. And I think that you really do help them to heal. You help them see their own inner worth and their own like positive traits. And I think you help them start to depend on themselves again. And then we're seeing she who remains, and it says powerful devotion and true worth. So you might even be the friend for a lot of people who sticks around. Like maybe a lot of other people are kind of fair weather friends to the people that come to you. And so then when they come to you, they know that they can depend on you, that you're not going to abandon them or just kind of leave them to the wolves. You know, I feel like you definitely, sorry, there's like a cat hair on there. I just want to get that really quick. Yeah, I feel like you just want to, like you always help them kind of build up self-esteem, and you don't just abandon them because they're having a hard time. I think there are a lot of people who just, you know, kind of get into toxic positivity where it's like, you know, only positive vibes. You can't ever be negative, and that's just not realistic. You know, people have ups and downs, and I think it's rare to often find a friend who is willing to be there through the good and the bad, and I think you are that friend who's there through everything. So that's awesome. And then I have kind of an idea for this horse, but I do want to read from the book because I think they do a good job of like kind of listing traits and things. So for the traits for horse, it says momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. So it represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. So that's kind of what I was thinking with this Eight of Pentacles as well. It's like a lot of very earthy energy, like building, you know, the teamwork as well, just kind of building up self-esteem, you know, putting that work in. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. So yeah, I feel like you are the supporter, you know, you're the person that people fall back on. It says a horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. So I think you've also got a lot of endurance, and I think maybe you've been through some tough times yourself. And so people turn to you because you give good advice since you've already been through it. You know, it's like you have perspective from the other side of things. You've gotten through the dark times, and you show them that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. And then it says, when in balance, they achieve anything and never give up. When out of balance, they run away, feel weak. And to bring into balance, it says strength training, which I think is kind of funny because we do have the strength card here. So yeah, I feel like you definitely help to give people that kind of mental and emotional strength to get through the tough times in their lives. And I think that that's really awesome because I think it's really hard to find friends like that, loved ones like that. And so that's really valuable. My only piece of advice is just make sure that you keep refilling your cup after you help other people out, because I think the helpers often kind of don't go and get help from anybody else. So just recognize you can ask for help from others as well, because even this is standing out to me. So when you need help, don't be afraid to turn it around, ask others for support too, because the supporters still need support from others. But let's get your charms, group one. And for the heart, we're actually going to use your green heart to figure out what's in the heart of the matter today. So, group one, why are the people in your life grateful to have you? Okay, so nothing fell in the heart, so we're actually going to get that out of here. Okay, so you've got a lot of words here to start. Let's see, just going to get these organized before I kind of start in. Oops. Okay. Okay, so we've got always here, so I definitely feel like that's kind of going with you're always there, you stick around, you're there for people. Peace, I think you help people to get mental peace, and maybe you are that kind of calming, peaceful person to be around, that people just feel like, you know, they're sinking into a warm bath when they're kind of around your energy. And divine here, so you might be kind of an earth angel, definitely might be an empath, you might be fairly intuitive, and that might be part of why you're so good at giving advice and being supportive of others. We've got happy, so I do think that people just feel happy around you. Travel, so I feel like aside from just you could be a travel buddy for a lot of people, that but you've been through it, you know? Like, I feel like you've been through some rough stuff and people turn to you because you've already gone through it before. And so they turn to you like for a guidebook, you know, you are their guidebook to success or to getting through emotional turmoil or whatever, because you've been through it. You've taken notes. I'm seeing noted. So I do feel like they actually listen to your advice. You know, there are a lot of people out there who ask for advice and don't take it. But I feel like when you give advice, people listen. You know, I think you might have that air about you that you just know what you're talking about, even if you don't feel secure in it at the time when you're giving it. I think people sense kind of power and wisdom in you. I think that you are a very wise person. And I think that you deliver this advice with love, with this XOXO. I think people adore you. I think you definitely have the energy of being able to empower others and give them hope, because we're seeing this little heart with the stars here. So you definitely give them hope. You help them to believe in their dreams when things get rough. I think that they often turn to you when things are kind of unknown, when they're just plagued by anxiety or uncertainty. You definitely have a healing vibe. We've got this heart with the nurse's cap on it. So yeah, you're definitely a healer. We're seeing the stag, which is often, sorry, I'm having to clear my throat a lot lately. The stag is very active masculine energy. So, I mean, it could be that you are a masculine, but otherwise it's just very much active, that you've been through it, you've taken action on things, you get things done. So I think that maybe you are the type to kind of take over, take control, you know, and they admire that about you. And we've got this cat here that's kind of like sneaky and cunning. It kind of gives me Seven of Swords energy. So yeah, just like sneakiness, trying to get away with something. So I think you probably also can sense when somebody doesn't have someone's best interests at heart. And I feel like that's part of why you give good advice, is because you are more objective, and you can pick up on if somebody doesn't mean well. And so people turn to you to kind of get your opinion on other people. And when someone just doesn't seem right for some reason, I think that you are good at giving advice on, you know, if you know, you can just say like, oh man, that person just doesn't seem right to me, you know, they just give me a bad vibe, whatever. And I think that you do that and people listen, and you're often right about that. I think you do help people to get unstuck from whatever situations in their lives are keeping them stuck and held down. I think you are very intuitive. I'm seeing a lot about intuition. I definitely think people open up to you with this corkscrew. That makes me think of people just opening up. So I do feel like even just perfect strangers come to you and like want to talk. I feel like, you know, you could be out having drinks with someone and somebody just sits down at a bar next to you and just opens up, you know, their entire life story comes out. So I feel like you definitely kind of are that ear for people to turn to. I think you're the shoulder to cry on. I feel like people definitely look up to you with this top hat. I always think of being kind of either your best self or kind of upper class. So I feel like sometimes people feel unworthy of being in your presence, but I think that you make them feel at ease. So you're definitely their biggest cheerleader. I think that that's a really good thing, that you tend to cheer people on, make them feel good about themselves. And then with this mixer here, I think that you help them figure out what ingredients in themselves are the best, and that like you help them find a way to put their best foot forward. You help them find like the best blend of tasks and things to move towards their goals. You help them make a plan. You help them just kind of figure out what things they need and what things they can leave behind. But just overall, I feel like you are this supportive, awesome person who just makes everybody around them feel good and feel empowered to live their own lives again. So just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. I do, that's one thing I do want to kind of impress upon you, is that I feel like a lot of you probably tend to burn yourselves up to keep other people warm, and just try not to do that. Try to set boundaries and retreat when you need to, recharge, you know, refill your own cup, and turn to other people for support when you need it as well. All right, group one, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, group two. So if you chose the blue heart, then this is your message. So let's figure out why people in your life are grateful to have you in their lives. So for your tarot, you have Six of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Magician. So I feel like maybe you're a good diplomat. You might be a good speaker. I think people admire that about you. I think you might be charismatic. I think a lot of people are kind of charmed by you with that Magician card. And with Temperance, I do think that you have the tendency to kind of help blend elements together to make something better. So I think you are diplomatic. I think you're generous with your time. And even in this Six of Pentacles, even though it looks like she's kind of trying to give to people who need her help, it almost looks like she's trying to get them to kind of get along. So I am getting kind of a diplomat vibe. So I feel like you're very good at seeing kind of both sides of a story, and you kind of give equal validity to both sides and allow people to kind of come together in that way. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you got Flamingo Spirit, Embrace the In-Between, number 26. So yeah, that's totally what I was talking about with that kind of in-between energy, being able to see two sides. Relationship Patterns, It Takes Strength to Recognize the Need for a Change, and that's number 32. Shark, Swim Away from This Situation, number 35. Curiosity, She Who Sees, Makita, Observe, Perceive, and Scrutinize. And then finally for your animal spirits, you have Bee. So I'm going to get the book for that one once I'm done kind of giving you my initial impression. But so with this Flamingo Spirit, Embrace the In-Between, I do think that you're good at kind of not taking a side. I think that you help everybody feel heard and understood. I think that you're good at kind of blending people together, bringing people together. I think you probably see through people's crap too, because we're seeing Shark swim away from the situation. So I think you're good at telling if people just have different opinions or if somebody is actually toxic for someone else. And then we're also seeing relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for a change. So I do think that you're good at figuring out toxic patterns in others, and I think that you probably advise other people. I think you're good at seeing when somebody is being truthful and when they're just good at kind of spinning an illusion or manipulating others, because we have She Who Sees. So I think that you are good at kind of scrutinizing a situation and understanding what's actually going on. And then we have Curiosity, which says, Meeting new people, I remember what a treasure trove of opinions, interests, and stories they are. But these treasures will only be unlocked if I embrace my curiosity. So I'll be curious and you be interesting. Deal? So I do think that you are genuinely interested in other people. I think you're curious about them, but I do think that because you're so good at kind of seeing through illusions and stuff, people come to you to kind of figure out if someone means well. I think they want help kind of figuring out how to mend a relationship, things like that. And I think you are able to tell when a relationship is just needing better communication, or if it's, kind of an honest mistake, or when it's actually toxic. But for B, it says earnest, hardworking, and democratic for the keywords. It says the bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and they sting. When in balance, it says they're content, active, and vibrant. When out of balance, they're overworked and annoyed. And to bring into balance, take a mini vacation. So I do think you're very hardworking, but I think people generally love that when it says they're sensitive creatures aware of many subtleties at once. I think you're able to pick up on subtleties and differences in communication. I think you're accepting of many points of view, but I do think that you also don't have time for people who are actually toxic in a situation. I think that that's something you don't have patience for, and you're able to help others see that when people are a bit more gullible than you or naive, or they just can't see the situation clearly because they're too close to it. I think that you come in and you help clarify things for them. But let's see what your charms have to say. And for the heart, we're actually going to use your heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 2, why are the people in your life grateful to have you? Wow, that's a lot in the heart there. Okay. Okay, so first off, we have the sewing machine in the heart, which talks about mending situations. So I do think that you are good at helping people to mend connections, mend relationships, help them kind of figure out what they need to do. I think you genuinely like a lot of people and other people genuinely like you. I think with that magician energy, I think you are very charismatic. And I think people just kind of gravitate towards you. I think you're a lot of fun as well with this kind of circus tent, but I think you're also full of surprises. So I do think that people kind of come to you for entertainment, but in like a more genuine sense, they definitely kind of stick around because you know, like I feel like you can get along with anyone, but you do know if somebody's toxic and you won't stand for that. And I think that's one big thing that people really love about you. And I think that you know kind of if it's worth taking a risk on people, and I think that you can help advise people in that sense, but I also think that you know if somebody's just playing their cards close to the vest, basically, like if they're just kind of hiding something because they're taking a long time to open up, or if they're actually hiding something that would be toxic or unhealthy in some way. So let's put those over here for now, and I'm going to flip the charms to just kind of see what we've got here, because it looks like we've got a few different zodiac signs. I think we only have one letter, but we've got some words here, so I'm going to just kind of get these sorted and then I'll tell you what I think. So for zodiac signs, we have Aries and we also have Cancer, and the Cancer one on the back says imaginative. So I do think that people kind of see, with that Cancer energy, I feel like you're very kind of emotionally open, you're secure, you're good at kind of mediating between people, and you allow kind of a safe space for people to just kind of say what they think. But I do think that you won't stand for things. Like if people are pushing your buttons, you push back with this Aries energy. And I do think that you're probably stubborn in that way. And you, if somebody's toxic or does something that just crosses a line for you, you won't take them back in. And I think people admire that kind of boundary setting because that's hard to do. We do have number 11 here, so that could be an important number for some people, especially if you're into kind of repeating numbers. And we've also got E's, so that could be an initial, a name. We've got the wave here, so I do think that you just kind of, like, you're laid back. You ride the wave of just people's emotions. I think that people kind of gravitate towards you because you are pretty laid back, that you're accepting of so many things. But I do think that you're able to kind of hype people up as well with Tigger. He's, excitable, kind of bounces off the walls a bit, and just is a lot of fun to be around. So I think that that's another thing that people love about you, is that you're a lot of fun, but you definitely are good at getting people to kind of get along. Like I'm seeing want and smile right here, and I'm thinking, you definitely like want people to smile and laugh. Like you kind of go out of your way to make everybody feel comfortable and happy. And I think that you kind of know what to say so that people feel at ease. And I think that you make people feel seen as well. Special time is also kind of standing out for a phrase for me. So I think that you do kind of make time for individual people, and kind of going off of making people feel seen. I think that you're not somebody who will only hang out with people in a big group. You're willing to kind of take people aside, be one-on-one, see what's going on with them. I think that you're just very engaging as a person, and people really do admire that, and they like being around that because they feel special when they're with you. They feel like somebody actually cares and they feel seen. And I'm also seeing this clock here with time. So I do think that you don't tend to rush people away from you or anything. I feel like people all feel like they have time with you. And I think that you definitely do try to make time for everybody who's important to you. And I think that people really appreciate that. You probably are talkative. And I think with this parrot, you help people out with what you say. And I think that you're also willing to listen. I think that that kind of give and take is important, especially with that Six of Pentacles we had. That's very much a give and take card. So I do think that when people need an ear, you're willing to be an ear. But when people want advice or want to just laugh or whatever, you're willing to do that too. So I think you are pretty flexible as a person as well. And you're willing to kind of help them out in that way. With this cloud here, it makes me think of like when things are foggy, people turn to you to kind of help get clarity, because I think that you are good at seeing through people's crap. You are able to kind of discern who's trustworthy and who's not, and I think people really appreciate that when they ask you for advice and things like that. I think you are protective of people as well with this umbrella here. I think that you're willing to kind of just be there for people, but not in a forcible way or like too much of a kind of, I don't want to say like too much of a macho way, but like an ego-oriented way. Like you don't do it out of ego or out of a need to prove yourself. You just do it because you generally and genuinely care about other people's well-being. The people that you love, you want them to feel safe and secure, and that's really important to you. So I think that that's another thing that people really love. You might be musical or creative, but I think that this guitar also just talks about your charisma and the fact that people, like all eyes kind of turn to you when you're in a room. And I think that that's something that people really love. I think you might be kind of performative, but I think that it's not in an ego-based way. I don't think you do it because you like just getting tons of attention on you. I think that you genuinely just want people to feel good, and you like being the person to make other people feel good. With this wishes come true, I think you probably help people kind of realize that their wishes can come true. I think that you kind of are good at giving a pep talk. And I think that you're willing to kind of help people see the good side of things. I think you're definitely someone who kind of likes to give the other side. Like if somebody's upset about something or angry about something that someone else said, I think you're able to be like, okay, well, maybe look at it this way. You know, could they have meant this? And I think that that's something people really value. With the sweater being knitted here, it makes me think of just kind of coziness, and like I just kind of think of like going to grandma's house where you just feel safe and secure, and it's just kind of it's the place you can just go, and you're kind of just given extra attention and given cookies and that kind of thing. So I feel like you kind of have that vibe where you just make people feel kind of warm and comforted, but also they just feel good when they leave, that you're fun to be around. You're good at giving advice. You're good at just kind of helping people see both sides of a situation. And then with this foot kicking a soccer ball, I feel like you're probably pretty goal-oriented, and I think that you definitely, what you set out to achieve, you do follow through on. You achieve it. I think that you maybe help people with their goal setting as well, because we have that B card about being hardworking. So I feel like you definitely encourage people to be hardworking, but I feel like you don't kind of cut people down. You're definitely someone who builds others up and just kind of helps them see the good side of things, and just kind of help people keep going, when things get tough, and you're just able to kind of help facilitate interactions between people if they're fighting, that kind of thing. I just think that you're really good at being around people and also in helping people kind of be around each other, if that makes sense. Well, group 2, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that you can see when I've posted new videos. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 3. So if you chose the purple heart, then this is your message. So let's figure out why people in your life are grateful to have you. So for your tarot, you have the Well, which is number 22. So this deck actually has a couple of extra cards in the major arcana. So I'll get into the meaning of this in a minute. You also have the Emperor and the Four of Pentacles. So just to start off, I feel like people think that you're a leader. You're confident, you're secure, you're stable, and then I feel like you definitely have kind of a constant flow of ideas. Like, I think that they admire kind of where your ideas come from, because the well for me is kind of like the muse card. It's where creative ideas come from, you know, inspiration, things like that. It's just when it's in that kind of state of flow where it's just easy to get those. And I feel like you at least come off like you have all these ideas that just kind of come out of nowhere. And I feel like people really admire that because they kind of aspire to be like that. That's one thing that I'm getting, is you're a role model. People aspire to be like you. And I do think that you're very secure, if not just financially, also emotionally. So for your oracle cards, you have Fox Spirit, Think on Your Feet, number 27. Miracles and Blessings, Everything Has Its Gift, number 13. Sundress, Do It For You, number 41. Your affirmator is I'm a Catch. You have She Who Waits, Manara, Patience, Waiting, Determination. And then finally for your animal spirit, you have Whale. So I'll read the book on that one in a minute, because I just like how the book kind of presents that information. But let's kind of go over my initial thoughts first. So with the fox spirit, I think you're very good at thinking on your feet. I think that people can ask you a question and you immediately get back to them with an answer. I feel like you just kind of come across as just like a source of knowledge. I think that you're probably very wise, you're very intelligent, and I think you come across very secure in your ideas, in your intelligence. I think you come across very confident and self-assured, but without necessarily being cocky or kind of obnoxious about it. You know, you're just very solid in it, but you don't show off. And with miracles and blessings, this kind of goes off of what I was thinking with that well card, is that I feel like things just kind of come to you, and maybe you have really good luck or something, or you kind of show people miracles, you find a new way to show people how to look at the world, new perspectives, things like that. And I think that it's stuff that people wouldn't have thought of on their own, and they're like, how on earth did you come up with that? You know, it's just, it seems to come out of nowhere. It seems to have a divine source. But I think you also are very confident that you're just secure in yourself. You don't really kind of do things for anybody else, in terms of, like, you don't try to make other people happy in terms of your success or anything. You do what you want to do. You do it for yourself. You don't depend on others for self-esteem or accolades or anything like that. Even like what it says on this affirmator card. So it says, I'm a catch. I'm a total catch, and I know all the reasons why. I know that anyone would be lucky to be with me, and that doesn't mean I'm arrogant or snobby. Self-respect is just one of the many qualities exhibited by this complete and utter babe. So yeah, I feel like you give off that energy of just being very confident and secure, and just kind of full of just that kind of solid energy where you're not kind of wishy-washy about what you want or anything. You go for what you want. You're very determined. Even this card for She Who Waits, it even says determination. So I feel like you're probably the type of person too that if you know what you want, if something that isn't quite what you want comes along sooner, you're not just going to take that because it's easy or because it came along already. You're going to wait and keep working for what you want. And I think that people admire that because it kind of inspires them to be maybe more true to themselves as well. So I'm going to get the book now for this whale card, because I like how they present kind of the keywords and traits of these different animal spirits. So it says for whale, the keywords are desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. That's exactly what I was saying with that Emperor card and the Four of Pentacles as well, is that you're very stable, you're emotionally healthy, and if you have any issues with your mental health, I think you come off a lot more secure and kind of just solid in your growth, and you know who you are, you know where you're at, that kind of thing. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. Yeah, with that determination as well. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, they're calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. When out of balance, they're heavy and slip into an old story. To bring into balance, practice regular self-care. So I feel like people really admire your kind of solid emotional stability, the fact that you're still compassionate and caring about people, though you don't come off necessarily as cold or anything, because even with this well, I get very feminine energy, and then the Emperor is very masculine, so I think you balance those sides very well. And I think that people really love that they can kind of turn to you for things, that I think you calm the chaos. Like if people come to you like frazzled or stressed or anything, or if you kind of come into a difficult situation or something, I think you have the tendency to kind of restructure it. You are able to calm people down. I think you have kind of a commanding aura about you, and that people do respond to that, and they kind of shift their perspectives and their personalities in that moment to fit with you a little bit more. I think that they try to aspire to be like you and to kind of solidify where they're at. Like if there's just chaos that people are fighting, or there's stress, I think that you do kind of soothe, but not in just a soft way. I think that you just help people kind of ground themselves again. You just have a very grounded energy about you, but you're also very determined. So I want to see what your charms have to say. So for the heart of the situation, we're actually going to use your purple heart here. So group 3, why are people in your life grateful to have you? So you guys got a lot of charms, but in the heart you have the tennis racket here, with the ball, which for me is the symbol of the ball being in your court. So I feel like when you know what you want, you take command of things. You're willing to take initiative. You don't sit back and just wait for something to come along. You're not lazy in the least. You're very hardworking. You take initiative. You go after what you want. And I think that people really admire just that drive and the confidence that you carry with you as well. So I'm just going to move that up here to get that out of the way and kind of sort these a bit, because we've got a lot of charms here. I'm seeing the crown here, which is definitely confidence and having control over a situation and kind of sovereignty over your own life as well. With this spider in the spider web, that's definitely a message of creating your own life, and that is a very creative energy as well, so that fits with that kind of well card, where it's you find creative solutions to problems as well. With this knight, you're definitely persistent, you have drive, you move towards things, you're not just standing still. Even though you're stable, you don't kind of rush in, you're not impulsive, you're very structured and strategic about things, but you definitely kind of follow through as well. You have Sagittarius energy here for a zodiac sign, and it says optimistic on the other side. So I don't think that you're a pessimist. I would guess that you're probably a realist, and you're optimistic, and that you know your own value and you know what you are able to achieve. So you don't necessarily need other people to kind of cower to you or anything. And you don't feel like, I don't think that you have unrealistic dreams, but even if other people would maybe think that your dreams are unrealistic, you trust in yourself enough to know that you can follow through and achieve anything that you set your mind to. So I think that that's definitely an admirable trait, and I think you inspire others as well to do the same in their own lives. We've got number 24 here, and we've also got the word noted. So the 24 can just be an important date or number for some people, and then noted, I think a lot of people do take note of what you do, how you carry yourself, how you follow through on things. I think a lot of people are kind of taking notes, trying to find ways to be more like you. So I do think that that message of you being a role model is coming through very strongly here. With this fox, we've also got the fox spirit card here with the think on your feet. So I do think that you're very good at thinking on your feet. You can come up with solutions to just about anything. I think that you're cunning and intelligent. You find ways to solve problems. You follow through on things. Sometimes if a more traditional approach wouldn't work, you find kind of a creative backdoor solution so that you can still achieve what you set out to do. So I think that that's really great, that you can follow through on that kind of thing. We've got these two flowers here that are both kind of opening up and blooming. So I do feel like people see this beauty in you and they just admire you, and you feel kind of like your life is in some ways unattainable, but I think you still inspire people to kind of open up and kind of flourish and follow their own path and be confident in what they set out to achieve as well. That I think that you, even if you seem like your life is unattainable, I think people still have that drive to attain it because they're like, well, you did it. And, you know, you're just that inspiring that even if people are a little less confident in themselves, they still try to kind of summon up that confidence so that they can try to achieve something because you've inspired them. We've got the Fool here, so I think you're definitely great at kind of starting new things. I think you go at things with enthusiasm. I think people get excited to be around you because you're a cool person to be around. You know, I feel like people just want to listen to what you have to say at times. You know, you're charismatic and commanding, and you definitely inspire people and make them feel like they could get a new perspective on life. We're seeing this plane here, so that's making me think of, you know, having a higher perspective, a different perspective on things. I think you definitely do have a way of like calming people down, and you just have a calm confidence about you. You know, you don't have to be presenting yourself with any sort of bravado. You're just calm and secure in yourself, and I think that's why people feel like in some ways it is attainable, even though you seem like you're so elevated above so many people. I think because you're so kind of grounded about it, people feel like maybe it is attainable as well. I feel like you inspire people to kind of go after what they're wishing for. You have that ability to make wishes and miracles happen, make wishes come true. There's this energy here of making dreams come true. I think you're a really good communicator with this bird here. I think that that's one of the things that kind of makes you an imposing presence, is that you're powerful and commanding, and you're a great communicator, and people want to listen to what you have to say. I think you do know when to be flexible as well. But I think one of your greatest qualities is that you prepare for things. With that think on your feet, I think that you've kind of prepared in the past, that you just have like a, this sounds weird, but this, I always kind of use this metaphor, having a toolbox of solutions or kind of methods to use to solve a problem. And I feel like you've kind of got a big enough toolbox of those kinds of solutions and methods and things that you feel prepared going into just about any situation. And if you don't feel prepared, you definitely give off the air of being prepared for any situation. So I think that that's one thing that people admire, is that you're inspiring them to become more prepared and to kind of test themselves in a way and to create the life that they want. With this reindeer, that's definitely kind of magic energy. So I do think that you have a lot of magical qualities about you. I think a lot of people just feel like you're kind of not otherworldly, but that's the word that's coming to mind, that you just seem kind of like you're pulling your power from like a divine source. And I think that that goes with that well card as well. With this jack-o'-lantern, I feel like you might do things the traditional way to start, but I do think that you're willing to kind of change it up, because I think of how this jack-o'-lantern is kind of, you know, the traditional standard one that you see on a lot of like merchandise and things, and that's kind of what we think of when we see one, or when we think of one, that's like the face that it makes, but people can get creative with them, and I feel like you're willing to do that, but you usually start with kind of the tried and true way to start, and that's why you're good at thinking on your feet, is that you start with something that you're very confident in, and then if you have to adjust, you're willing to adjust. I do think that you have a very calming and comforting energy about you with this kind of knitted sweater here. And I think that people admire your beauty too, because I think you just seem like something that a lot of people have never seen before you. You know, that's, I think that it's just kind of, they're in awe of you because you just seem so different than anyone else that they've met. So I think that they're very grateful to kind of have you in their lives to be this source of inspiration. And I think when things are kind of foggy and unsure, you help ground people, you help them feel calm and confident. You're definitely a born leader. And when things get crazy, you're able to kind of restructure it. You're able to kind of smooth things out and make it less chaotic. So group 3, I hope that this resonates and I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope that you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.